Hi, welcome to Roma More Rome Sweet Rome. This is my channel and I'm Tiberio. In English, Tiberius. It's not a pen name. It's not a pen name. It's my real name. I am Italian. More specifically, I'm Roman. This is passion and love for me. I mean, history and Rome and history of Rome together even more. And this is a dream that since always to share with unknown people the history of Rome. And so I'm here. Finally, I was procrastinating all the time this moment, and finally, okay, I start with what I had, just my smartphone, my cell phone, whatever. And so of course the first video must be about the birth of Rome, how Rome was born. Rome was born in a very strategic location among some routes of communication, even better, of exchanges, of trades. Along the Tiber. The Tiber is the third longest river of Italy, is in mid-Italy, and if you're familiar with, split Umbria and Lazio and Latium, and is the river of Rome, the largest city of Italy and the capital of Italy. Tiber, my name, Tiberius, after Tiber, river of Rome. Capital of Italy, that time not yet. Rome, Rome didn't exist. We are talking of the birth of Rome. Then all the civilizations were born at the side, almost all civilizations were born at the side of a river, like the Chinese, the Indian, the Egyptian, the Mesopotamian civilizations, the Sumerians, the Babylonians. So the Yellow River, the Indo, the Nile, the Tigris and Euphrates, and the Roman Latin civilization at the side of the Tiber, long river Tiber. So then, water is life. There's no life without water, so this is, we take it for granted. On the other hand, that time they needed salt to preserve food, so fish and food were, sorry, I wanted to say fish and meat were conserved, preserved under salt, and so they used salt in some civilization as a currency. And so Rome is close, but not too close to the sea. I mean, in an area that enjoys all the advantage of the sea, in this case salt, later the port, the fleet, and is enough away from the sea to protect themselves, the community that is born there. On the other way, on the other side, so this is more or less, let's say, west-east, the salt issue. More or less north-south, we have the exchange of two extremely developed cultures, civilizations, I may say. The Etruscan civilization in mid-Italy, between what now is Florence and Rome, and the Greek cities, the Greek city-states, the colonies of Greece in the south, and this area where Rome is born in between. So there are two theories about how Rome was born. One that says that 7 villages on top 7 hills, eventually they became one city. Another theory says that one village on top one hill, the Palatine Hill, conquered, absorbed in a way, all the other 7 villages on the 7 hills. And the evidences found by the archaeologists on the Palatine Hill confirm that the Palatine is the oldest, in the meaning that is where we have the oldest evidences of something that was built. And so the legend, the myth of the city foundation, that it seems that took place in 753 BC, April the 21st, 753 BC, says that twins, Romulus and Remus, being abandoned, they couldn't know who was the firstborn, and then they needed a sign from the divinities, from the gods, to know which one was the one. And I will tell you, I will film another video about the details of this fascinating legend of Romulus and Remus. Anyway, now we focus on what is related to the location, not just by chance. The legend says that Remus went up the Aventine Hill, and Romulus went up the Palatine Hill, because the 7 hills of Rome are 5 of 7 are linked, are connected, are not completely isolated, are not separated 360 degrees, but 2 of them, the Aventine and the Palatine, are not linked, are not connected with the other ones that looks like fingers and a thumb. The thumb is the Capitol Hill, and the fingers are the Quirinal, the Viminal, the Esquiline, and the Celium. So then we have the 4 fingers and the thumb that formed through millennia, with the waters draining after storms and rains, draining to the Tiber Valley. And 2 also, but they are isolated, they are rounded. And they are also the closest to the Tiber. But the difference between the Aventine and the Palatine, that's why finally Rome was born on the Palatine Hill, is that the Palatine is the closest to the Tiber, where the Tiber Island is. And then the Tiber Island makes much easier to cross the river than in any other point. It's a natural cross, trespassing maybe in English. It's a natural trespass of the river. And on the other hand, the Palatine Hill is between the river and the other 5 hills that are like fingers and a thumb. So much better than the Aventine, but the Aventine is the closest to the Tiber, even more than the Palatine. Then, not just by chance, the legend says Remus went on top. The Aventine, Romulus went on top. The Palatine, but finally Rome was born on the Palatine, and eventually became one of the most famous city in history. But this is a very long story and a very long history, and this is just the beginning. Thank you for following me till the end of this video. I ask for thumb up, and I ask for to subscribe to my channel, comments below here. There's also the French version, la version française, the Spanish version, la versione en español, and the Italian version, la versione en italiano of this video in this channel as well.